Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Lars here. Today, we're going to go ahead, dive in, and check out some Retro Cup. Now, Retro Cup, we're going to start with Defense Form Deoxys. It, of course, is going to have Counter as its fast move, but it's also going to go ahead and use Rock Slide instead of Thunderbolt. So get that Rock Slide in there, Thunderbolt's out, and then Psycho Boost. So pretty common. I'm sure a lot of you have used it before and don't want to dwell on it too much. And so that's what we're going to do as far as that's concerned. Medicham, same exact thing. Counter fast, but instead of Ice Punch, we're going to use Power Up Punch and Psychic. I've seen people use Ice Punch. I used Ice Punch for a little bit, but for the most part, I prefer Power Up Punch because there are those normal types, and even against Mud Boys, it's just a good overall move to have. So that is that. And of course, last but not least is our Delcatty. And Delcatty, even though it needs to be level 50, it knows Charm, and Charm is so important because there are so many dragons out there, and it really gives you the chance to absolutely decimate them. So it's going to have Wild Charge and Disarming Voice as its charged moves, and of course, like I said, Charm is its fast. Great Pokemon. I used it about 2.5 years ago when nobody really knew what it was, and a lot of people will think it's like a Lickitung, in that upper right-hand corner. They see it, and it'll really confuse them. So please, if you do have one, you can build it. If not, it's up to you. The cost is totally up to you. I don't want you to build something and then hate it, but at the same time, it has been working for me. So we have a Lantern, Defense Form Deoxys. With Defense Form Deoxys versus Lantern, it's pretty good. They're going to use Thunderbolt. It's really rare for them to use anything, but they're not going to try to fake you out with a Surf. They know you're not going to shield, so go ahead and get ready. They catch our attack. We throw this Rock Slide. They switch to Lickitung, so we're switching to Medicham. This is still okay. What we're going to do is we're going to play it like we would any time, even in Great League, where it's Medicham versus Lickitung, and that is charge up that Psychic, but throw Power Up Punch. There we go. They don't shield, but it's okay because, this isn't, I don't think, an optimal IV Lickitung just because normally would get a body slam off, but we were able to kill it before. So there's a Surf. Say goodbye to Medicham. Here comes Deoxys. And the reason why I'm being so conservative in my shield use is because I've seen this team a few times, and they tend to have an Altaria or a Dragonair in the back. So we want to save those shields. They're going to get one Surf off here. We're going to shield it. And there it is. And so now here comes Dragonair. They'll get a total of one body slam off. And then that's it. It's over for Shadow and non-Shadow. Just one body slam. And that's that. They quit. End of story. Next one, Jellicent, which is not a good lead for us, especially without Thunderbolt. We switch to Delcatty. They switch to Medicham. Now notice it's about neck and neck. We're going to go ahead. We're going to let them have the lead because they use the Ice Punch. We're going to throw this Disarming Voice, and which is going to force them to shield. And so they're going to kill us, and we're going to bring in our Deoxys, and Deoxys is going to farm it down for energy. And so when it comes back, or when Jellicent comes back in, we're going to try to make them think we have Thunderbolt, and then hopefully they do shield, which would put them at a in a really hard position. So there we go. We say goodbye to their Medicham. Here comes Jellicent. Go ahead, throw this Thunderbolt, right? Rock Slide. They shield. Great news for us. Go ahead, throw another Rock Slide. There we go. And then we try our best to get off this Psycho Boost. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't throw Surf here. There's a Shadow Ball. We bring in Medicham. And what we're going to do is we're going to shield this one as well because I'm a little nervous. And so yeah, here comes Lantern. Throw the Power Up Punch. Obviously nothing to bait because they don't have any shields. So we just do that so we can increase our attack just a little bit. And so when it comes time to throw this Psychic, it'll almost kill him. And then we can just charge up our energy and throw one last Psychic and call it a day. So shield this one. Absolutely shield it. And there we go. And then all it takes is 1, 2, 3, and then on the fourth punch, right after, we are throwing that charge move. There we go. And Psychic, because it's boosted and everything, that's that. On to the next battle. And the next one is going to be, well, we have a Dragonair. Go ahead. We are going to shield this one. And we kill it just like before. And then what do we have coming up? We have an Altaria. So we go ahead and we're just going to use our Disarming Voice against Altaria. And then we're going to do our thing, which is just charm it. Absolutely just charm it. We get one last disarming voice off. They have to shield here unless they want Altari to die in vain. So we are bringing back out Deoxys. And Deoxys is just going to be our punching bag. This video got clipped a little bit, but they had a Kingdra in the front. They don't know what we have in the back. And of course, we know we have a Medicham, and Medicham can handle Kingdra just fine, especially with one shield versus 0. So there we go. We throw in Medicham. That's that end of it. And it's on to the next battle. Let's see what we got coming up next. We have an Alolan Marowak, which is a very, very rare find, which is good that we have Rock Slide. Unfortunately, they do have Shadow Bone, but it's going to be okay. We're going to go ahead, let this one hit us. We throw the rocks, they actually catch our attack. What happens, right? So we immediately switch to Medicham, and right here, we're going to throw a Power-Up Punch, and then just start banking energy. There we go, and now they're going to throw 2 Mud Bombs, no problem. They won't get a third one off. There's number 1, and then here comes number 2. We'll still be alive. And now we have that Psychic ready to go. They opt to throw in Noctowl instead. Honestly, I wasn't sure what they were going to do, but they decided to throw in Noctowl, which is totally fine, totally okay, because we have a Delcatty waiting. And there we go. We switch to Deoxys. We're going to throw this Psycho boost. There we go. They shield. They are down to 1 shield versus our 2. The Shadow Bone, obviously, it's not super effective against us. We resist it, and they're just trying to break our defense, which they do the second time around. They use their last shield here. No problem. So here it comes. And we know that Noctowl has 2 charge moves ready to go. And so we want to be careful. Had they, they chose to use the charge moves. Even if they didn't, we still would have won. It just would have been a little bit closer. But in the end, everything was okay. So that is that. On to the next one. Mirror match. So our opponent's defense form Deoxys has Thunderbolt. We do not, obviously. We have Rock Slide. It's actually better in a mirror match to use Rock Slide, just because we win. It's close, but we will win because we're going to get 3 Rock Slides off versus 2 Thunderbolts. So there we go. There it is. And then they'll get this last Thunderbolt off. There we go, and here comes a Rock Slide. And that's that. All right, Walreen. So, music to our ears. We throw in Medicham. They're going to get this Icicle Spear off. It's totally cool. Go ahead, and it becomes, we're going to bank the energy, and then we're going to bring out our Delcatty just to act as kind of a sponge to absorb all of this damage. There's a Thunderbolt we absorb, and then they're going to get 1 Surf off, which is totally fine because we have a Disarming Voice ready to go. And then that's all Delcatty's there to do, is to keep chipping away, doing damage, doing its thing. We're throwing this Power-Up Punch. I could have charged up Psychic and tried to bait him, but you know what? I just figured, let's just go ahead and use Power-Up Punch. That way our attack is, strengthened, that sort of thing. So there we go. At this point, it's well, it is over. And that's that. All right, Medicham, they opt to switch to Lickitung. We are bringing in our Medicham. Same thing as before. We charge up Psychic, but we use Power-Up Punch. So there we go. And then here comes a Power-Up Punch. They opt not to shield. This person's IVs are a little bit better, and so they do get that last Body Slam off. So we do have to use a shield, but we're just going to go ahead. We're going to use this Power-Up Punch just to boost our attack a little bit more. And now we have a Psychic ready to go for this Medicham. Now, we can get 1 more Power-Up Punch off that I found out later. I thought it was going to be just a little too close for comfort, and so I didn't use Power-Up Punch, then Psychic. But yeah, was an option. So we are bringing in Defense Form Deoxys once more, and they're going to get off a barrage of Ice Punches. So there we go. There's 1, and then second one coming our way. All right, and now it's time to try to bait out a shield with a Rock Slide. There we go. They don't bite, and then they're going to throw one more Ice Punch. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to say this is enough and throw the Psycho Boost. There's a Psycho Boost. We are bringing in Delcatty. It becomes Delcatty versus Dunsparce. So Dunsparce needs to get a total of 3 drill runs off, which is fine because we're going to get a, well, here's number 2. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get a Disarming Voice off. I did not want to shield that one because it forces Dunsparce to kill me with its fast, which it's not going to do. And there's that. And we did have, obviously, Deoxys in the back that we needed it, but we're good. We're golden. And it's on to the second to last battle. Sorry, the last battle, Deoxys. Go ahead, just like I said before, Lantern, very popular lead, and also in the back, right? Super popular pick for Retro Cup. Tank that Thunderbolt and return it with a Rock Slide. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead, charge it on up, use Rock Slide once more. There we go. And then just keep on punching. They're going to use a Surf here. And then we're going to have a little bit of HP left. Kill it. And then as soon as we can, with our dying breath, we get off this Psycho Boost. There we go. They shield. Great news for us. Here comes Delcatty. And Delcatty, just charm away. No problem. Keep on charming. People think it's, dragons, like I said before, have the run of the place. But now, Delcatty's in the mix. And here comes a Disarming Voice. They opt to shield, so we're bringing in Medicham. We're going to use that Power-Up Punch, and then we're going to throw a Psychic. So there we go. Power-Up Punch. They're going to get a Sky Attack. Or, excuse me, I tried to throw the Psychic. I couldn't get to it. But in the end, we were okay because, they have to throw 2 Sky Attacks to kill Delcatty, and they just couldn't do it. So there we go. We say goodbye to our Medicham. Here's Delcatty, and we're looking really, really, really good. And they were close, but they just couldn't do it. And that will be that. Have a great night, everybody.